Good morning, dear students. I welcome you for the chemistry class. Today, in this particular video, I'll be discussing about the reaction of metals and non-metals, so the formation of cations, anions, and how the ionic compounds will be formed. So, many metals form ionic compounds when they react with non-metals. Compounds so formed are known as ionic compounds. Coming to ions. So these are positive or negative charged atoms are known as ions. Ions are formed because of loss or gain of electrons. Atoms form ions obtained by the electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas. Coming to positive ions or cations. A positive ion is formed because of loss of electrons by an atom. So following are some examples of positive ions. So sodium. So when you take sodium, the atomic number is 211. So EC, electronic configuration is 2, 8, 1. So these forms sodium ion because of loss of one electron. So when they lose one electron, so they'll become Na plus, where protons will be dominating compared to electrons. So they do have 11 protons and 10 electrons. So because of the loss of one electron, one positive charge comes over sodium. So it is plus 1. So magnesium forms positive ion because of the loss of 2 electrons. So the atomic number is 12, 2, 8, 2. So it will lose 2 electrons and it will gain plus 2. Means it has lost 2 electrons. So again the proton is dominating. There is 12 protons and there will be 10 electrons. So two positive charges come over on Mg because of loss of 2 electrons. So these are cations. Coming to negative ions. A negative ion is formed because of gain of an electron. For example, chlorine, the atomic number is 17, 2, 8, 7. So in order to become stable, it gains one electron. So when it gains one electron, the EC will become 2, 8, 8. It becomes Cl minus, chloride ion. So we'll say this as chloride ion. So these are anions. Coming to ionic bonds. So these are formed because of transfer of electrons from a metal to non-metals. So in this due course, we understood that metals will form cations, means they do get a positive charge where they lose electron, and non-metals will gain electrons, although they become negatively charged. So they accept electron. So in other words, the bonds which is formed between the positive and negative ions is called ionic bond. And the compound is electrically neutral. So when you take NaCl, so it is electrically neutral. So they are ionic compounds. So negative and positive, both ions must be combined. So let us study about the formation of NaCl. So sodium being a metal and chlorine being a non-metal. Atomic number of sodium is 11, 2, 8, 1. So the outermost valence electron is 1. And chlorine it is 17, 2, 8, 7. The valence electron is 7. So the valence electron is 7 over here. So how the bond formation takes place. So sodium will lose one electron and chlorine, its the outermost electron is 7, so it will gain one electron. So sodium by losing electron, it gains positive charge and chlorine will gain negative charge. So there's a formation of bond between them. There's a transfer of electron from sodium to chlorine, so forming sodium chloride. So these are the dot structures. So what you represent the outermost dots will be only the valence electron. So you can also use cross. So just to show the difference between two elements, two atoms, you can also go with cross. So sodium has one valence electron and chlorine has seven valence electrons. Sodium requires, they lose one electron to become stable, and chlorine gains one electron in order to become stable. Thus, in order to obtain stable configuration, sodium transferred one electron to chlorine. After losing one electron, sodium will become positive charge, and chlorine, after gaining one electron, it becomes negative charge. So there's a cation formation, there's an anion formation. So thus, ionic bond is formed between sodium and chlorine, since sodium chloride is formed, and hence it is an ionic bond. Similarly, so try it with KCl. K atomic number is 19, Cl as you know it is 17. So try to figure it out. So how KCl bond has been formed. Coming to properties of ionic compound. So ionic compounds are solids in nature. So they have a greater force of attraction between them because the ions attraction are very much stronger. So that's why they are solid. Even though they are solid, They are brittle in nature. They have high melting point and boiling point because the force of attraction between the ions are very stronger. They are generally dissolved in water. They are generally soluble in water. They are generally insoluble in organic solvents like kerosene, petrol. They do not conduct electricity in the solid state. Yes, but they do conduct electricity in the molten state, the just melted state. The solution of ionic compounds in water conduct electricity because so when you add ionic compounds to water, it splits into ions. So dissociation, ionization takes place, which facilitate the passage of electricity by moving towards their opposite electrodes. Thank you, students.